What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Alternate Show. Today we're looking at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Squadron Supreme 2-pack. So we have a Squadron Supreme pack here with Hyperion and Doctor Spectrum, which is really cool. So we're getting two members of the Squadron Supreme, and I'll give you more information all about the Squadron Supreme, but pretty interesting story. They're pretty much Marvel's version of the Justice League, so pretty cool to have them, and they look really cool. If we flip around to the back, we have the pictures there and their accessories that they come with. So Doctor Spectrum has a lot of colorful stuff there that'll look pretty cool, but overall a pretty nice and decent looking pack. There's a comic picture of both of them, but both of them look really cool and I'm excited to check them out. So let me get them out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off looking at Hyperion, but before we do, I want to tell you about the origins of Squadron Supreme. So it originally started out as the group The Squadron Sinister, which was a copy of the Justice League, just in an evil version, I guess, but of course for Marvel. But then later on it was reintroduced as the Squadron Supreme as a heroic group, but the team pretty much had a lot of stand-ins for the Justice League. So Hyperion is supposed to be Superman, Nighthawk is supposed to be Batman, Power Princess is supposed to be Wonder Woman, Doctor Spectrum is supposed to be Green Lantern, and Wizard is supposed to be the Flash. So again, we have Hyperion here, which again is supposed to be the Superman stand-in, and his real name was Mark Milton, and he was the last surviving member of the Eternals of Earth 712, and he was raised by the Milton family with a strong moral code and became a superhero named after the Greek Titan, so Hyperion, and he worked as a cartoonist for a news publication and developed a friendship with the costume hero Nighthawk, and they ended up forming the Squadron Supreme. So very similar background and story to Superman, of course, and similar to Superman, he's got superhuman strength, speed, agility, and reflexes, as well as flight. He's impervious to damage and has cosmic energy manipulations with an atomic vision. So again, very similar to Superman overall. So that's what we have here for Hyperion, and overall he looks cool and decent. I like this figure, but there's some issues I have with it. It's definitely a good upgrade, like body-wise and stuff, but there's some stuff like the face I don't like as much. It just looks a little weird with the like little mask and stuff, and I don't like how it's got the red underneath, and then they sort of like did a dark shadow like over the top in black, so it just kind of adds a weird like color and design to it. So it kind of reminds me of like Mr. Incredible from the Incredibles, or maybe even Syndrome the villain. It just has a weird look to it with the all white eyes in there, but the face and stuff doesn't look bad. It's just with that mask it just looks a little bit weird, but he's got the short slicked back hair, so in like a blonde or like orangish color there with the little swirl, so it should have been hanging down sort of swirl, but a little curl there up top. So again, it's supposed to be a similarity to Superman there. And then he's got the outfit, so he's got red and yellow outfit, so a little like atomic logo there on his chest, and then he's got a gold cape hanging down in the back. So I like this cape better than the older one, how it has the connections here in the front. They're kind of like stuck in there, so we don't have to worry about this falling off. And then the red tights underneath, so the red tight shirt going into the piece where it's always funny, he has like this big like underwear piece that slides up and has some rivets. I don't know if it's supposed to be like metal or something, but just kind of weird that that's in his midsection there covering him up. And then red tights going down the legs to the yellow boots there, and then bare arms everywhere else. And it's kind of weird with this figure, so he's got pinless legs, so it's a newer figure design with the pinless legs, but then he's still got the pin arms, so looks like they took just something from an old figure and put it on there. So overall there's not a lot to him like look wise and stuff, but I think he looks pretty decent. Like I said, I feel this is a figure that needed upgrade because I'll show you that older version, but I still wish he could have been upgraded a little bit more. But let's do the movements. So the head can twist all the way around, look down that far and up that far, so pretty good movements there in the neck. The shoulders can come up. Now his shoulders are really stiff and hard to mess with and everything, so it'll be hard to get it there. So you can get it pretty close to 90, especially if you sort of force it up there, but he's just got these big giant shoulders and the joints are really stiff and stuff, so it's just really hard to move all that in there. But then we also get the biceps that can twist around, so again really stiff in there, so it can twist all the way around. The double elbow joint again with those pin joints there can be just a little over 90, and the wrist can twist around and flex up and down. Then we get the ab crunch, so we have the upper crunch there, so you can crunch forward. If you get it over the yellow piece, so you can crunch a little bit forward there, so crunch back and forth and can twist all the way around. Then we get the hips that can come up to 90 and out to the side that far, a thigh twist all the way around, a double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, not far from kicking his butt, and a shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So overall the joints are bad. Like I said, it'd just be nice if those upgraded with the pinless joints in the elbows, and then a little bit better shoulders that function better. But like the legs and stuff work well. They're a little bit stiff, but they do work well, and he stands up pretty easily and everything, so so everything works out there. Overall, he does look pretty cool. Like I said, the only major issue I have with him is his face. I just wish it looked a little bit different. It just looks odd to me. Now, accessory wise, he does come with some additional hands, so he gets some like grip hands. I don't know what for. We don't have anything to grip on or anything, but we do have those. But I think the fist will just fit well enough for him, again being a stand-in for Superman. And to show you that older figure, here is that older Hyperion. So again, like I said, pretty much a much needed upgrade, because this one just looks way too old and a little bit weird and awkward with the body build design. And I like how this one, you know, has like that underwear piece or whatever, where this one was just sort of painted on and stuff. But I do like this head overall more, and we thought about switching them, but the skin tones are just way too off, so it'd be hard to do. But yeah, definitely don't like this old cape and stuff, and definitely like this new one much more. So like I said, the figure is definitely a much needed upgrade. I just wish the face looked maybe more like this one, because I enjoy the face on this one much more. But either way, not bad. And like I said, it's a much needed upgrade, so I can't really complain too much. I just, like I said, wish the face looked a little bit different. And also in this pack, we have Doctor Spectrum, whose real name is Joseph Ledger, and he was an astronaut that, while in a deep space mission, saved a Skrull named Skymax, who in return gave Joe the power prism, and they became superheroes together that would eventually join the Squadron Supreme. And Skymax is pretty much a stand-in for Martian Manhunter. And if you don't remember with Doctor Spectrum and what I just kind of said there, he's pretty much a Green Lantern. So pretty cool. He has the different color designs with the Doctor Spectrum. So we have them in different prism colors and stuff. So we have blue, yellow, green, and orange. It looks like. I feel red would be much better, but it looks orange here, and overall it looks fine. You know, just kind of looks like a slap together sort of thing, like a kid painted or something. But I like the little like jewel or whatever white section there in the center, and then the colors coming off, but it's a little bit messy. Ours is pretty messy with the blue along the orange there, and then I think there's some colors, so maybe like some white there up on his chest, and just the colors didn't like blend too well together. It's pretty messy like there in the abdomen and stuff. So not the cleanest looking figure, but it looks just fine overall, and it carries off the look it's supposed to. Like I said, just not the best looking figure design ever with the colors and how messy it looks and everything. And similar to Hyperion, the joints are a little bit weird, so he has pinless arms, but his knees are pinned, so he's the opposite of Hyperion, so they need to like switch him around and stuff. But overall, like I said, he doesn't look bad. The body looks, you know, pretty basic, almost like a Bucky cap, especially there in the legs and stuff. But having the new arms, at least, it makes it a little bit better, but just overall looks pretty weird. But as I mentioned, with him being a stand-in pretty much for Green Lantern, he has the power prism instead of the lantern rings, and the power prism gives him control over multicolored light-based energies that work through the force of his will, and with that he can create energy blasts, shields, solidified shapes, and also allows him for flight and intangibility. So again, pretty cool, and like I said, as a stand-in for Green Lantern, I guess it kind of works, but his accessories kind of help fill in that a little bit more. But for a figure itself, like I said, it just looks pretty cheap and basic. But let's do the movement. So the head can twist all the way around, it can look down that far and up that far, so pretty decent movements there. The shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint, so it can bend up that far, and the wrist can twist all the way around and flex. Now his hands here flex up and down, it looks like, and his hands seem to be set in and at an angle there, so his hands are always like curved in, which is kind of weird. But then we get the ab crunch, so crunch there forward and back, so pretty decent crunching. Twist all the way around at the waist. The hips can come up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint that bends up that far to the back, and a shin twist at the top of the boot with the foot that can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty decent movement wise, you know, not too many issues with it. And I do have a little bit of issues getting him to stand just because his feet are a little bit weird, but overall it's not too bad. So it's not horrible. There's just something very unsatisfying about this figure. It's hard to explain exactly what, but just wish it could have been a little bit better. But for accessories, we get some additional hands. So he has like just normal grip hands there. So we have some hands to like use his powers, whatever. So again, hands that match the different colors there. So let's switch these out. So there he has the open hands. Now we also get the power prism. So again, the prism that gives him his powers and stuff. So it's just a diamond here with different colors. So it's got yellow and like a pink color, and it should have other colors. It's hard to really see with this, but yeah, just a little diamond design and stuff that we could try to put into his hands. Like you can probably get his hands together and have him hold it in his hands. Again, I don't really know how exactly you'd be able to get him to hold it, but you can probably just get it placed in between his hands. But he also comes with some effects for his powers, so we have these as well. So just the normal effects we've had in the past, but they're sort of colorful and stuff. So let's put these on his hands. So there's the effects on Doctor Spectrum. Overall, of course, they just look like the effects and colorful and stuff, similar to like we've had with Dazzler and stuff in the past. But putting him on Doctor Spectrum, you know, helps shows his powers and stuff. I wish he was able to hold the power prism a little bit better, but having these effects kind of takes its place and stuff and works out pretty well overall for him. So cool to have Doctor Spectrum now to add to our Squadron Supreme, and with that we can bring in the other characters that we have. And there's our team of Squadron Supreme with, of course, our new figures of Hyperion and Doctor Spectrum, and then we have Nighthawk, which again is supposed to be like Batman, and Whizzer, which this is him in his more modern Speed Demon form, but it's the same character that used to be Whizzer, and of course he was a stand-in for the Flash. So pretty cool to have those figures. Of course, we need more, and hopefully more come in the future for Squadron Supreme, but cool to have at least 4 members of the team now, which is really cool. And I'm glad we got this pack, like I said, with the new Hyperion. I definitely prefer the body of this one much more. Just wish the head was different, and I would just wish they did something a little bit better with Doctor Spectrum, because like I said, he just seems really cheap figure-wise. But at least it's really cool to have more figures for Squadron Supreme here. So let me know what you thought of these two down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this review, let me know with a thumbs up. Well, and thank y'all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.